This is gonna be a video of me doing some maintenance on the collection here. We've got a lot of dolls that I've acquired over like the past few months that I've been neglecting. They have crispy, crunchy hair for the most part, or the hair is just ugly, and it needs to be, you know, washed or boil washed or styled in some way. So that's what we're gonna be doing today, yes. You know, we're gonna hang out, we're gonna have a nice time, we'll talk about stuff. Super fun stuff. What is that stuff gonna be? I don't really know. If that sounds good to you, make sure to stay tuned. I have no viewfinder. I hope I'm in this frame. Okay. I'm just gonna pull the ones. We've got this one. She really needs minimal work. I'm gonna put a flat iron on that and call it a day. It's like really just, it's kind of crispy right there too. I don't really want to wash these bangs out because I'll never get them that good again. I'm gonna put a flat iron on that. I've got the entire lot here of the Bratz Pop Starz, every single one. Jade. Oh no. Every single Brat Pop Star. Chloe fell, because this style of stand isn't the best. It just makes them kind of unstable. This absolute queen. After having puffed the hair out on this head, I'm like kind of like okay with how it's looking. If I decide I don't like it later on once she has a body, I'll go ahead and do something to it. But I mean, it's not bad. That one's fine. But this one needs a boil wash, and I think it's gonna come out like perfectly straight, and I'm excited about that. It's gonna be so good. Oh. Are there others of you? And she's fine. She's fine. I feel like with her, I'm just gonna continue to neglect her because I don't think her hair looks that bad. I've got this girl who is in desperate need of a fixin'. I find it so interesting because I'll like pull a Mattel doll out of a box. They have saran hair, and then I'll just throw her on a shelf for a while. And for the most part, I find that the saran hair just sort of hangs out. Like if it's got a box dent, it'll hang out over time. And if it doesn't, then I'll wash it. But so many of these dolls, I feel like that's what happened to them. The other thing is sometimes the curly saran starts to look frizzy, but I don't feel like dealing with that today, so we're just gonna ignore that problem. There's a lot of them. It's not as many as I thought, which is nice. All right, so I'm gonna undress these ladies and then we'll go into the kitchen and start the transformation. And by transformation, I just mean them not having crispy hair. So let's do it. Is the camera completely crooked? Yeah, because this tripod is kind of broken. All of my tripods are kind of broken, but you know, welcome to me and my life. This is how we go here. So upon further examination of most of these dolls, their hairstyles are like messy. Not just box messy, but like this hair like hanging out of them in a way that I don't like. So I'm gonna try washing them first and see how I feel then, but I think a lot of them I'm gonna have to redo their hair, which is not my strong suit. So this will be fun for everybody. It's always fun to watch me try and fail. And for some reason, I struggle like the most with the simplest hairstyle, so this one on Jade is probably gonna be impossible to me. Also, these bows are like sewn in, and I could re-sew them in, and I might end up having to, but we're just gonna try to wash her with the bows in and see what happens. All right, so we're gonna start with the washing. Let's just move all of these out of the way. I think I'm gonna start with Whitney. She's big and she's gonna take up a lot of space. The rest of these can share. Is the countertop too reflective? I think, yeah. I spilled like an entire container of water all over my kitchen this morning, so all my towels are wet. So we're gonna use this ugly purple one. Oh, it's so dirty. This is my craft towel. That's glue and stuff. There we go though, that's better. Let's give her a little soak in. I love this doll so much. I just wish that these legs were normal. I have this ruby body that I considered rebodiing her on, but the skin tone is like slightly off, but would it matter? Do you see what I mean? Like it might not matter. Maybe I should just try it and see how I feel about it. Cause I don't know. It's just hard for me to tell. Or should I just wait, do it right, you know? These ponytails are like so crispy. I'm hoping I can get away with like not having to redo her hair, but I think I'm gonna have to. Should have put on a short sleeve shirt. Also love her fringe and hope it doesn't get messed up, but it might. Let me know in the comment section down below, are you like good at doll hair or bad at it? Like I'll come through in the end. I will give you a good product. The hair will come out fine, but it's just such an ordeal for me to do it, you know? And it's not like that enjoyable. Like sometimes I have a nice time. I love the video where I had COVID and was redoing my Bratz fashion pixies. I had a really good time doing that hair, but when it comes to like just redoing the hairstyles that they already have, I struggle and have a bad time. I'm also like a lazy person, very, very lazy. So I do as minimal work as I can, you know? Like I don't want to have to redo this hair. So if I don't have to, I'm not going to. I'm just gonna let her soak for another second in there. Crispy. The other thing is I can never really tell, like at this point in the process, if what I'm feeling in the hair is gel or it's just like soap residue. So I'm gonna try rinsing this and see what happens. Soap residue. I'm gonna condition them all at the same time in the end. So we're gonna put her aside. I'm also looking at this hairstyle and realizing how bad it is, so I'm definitely gonna have to redo it. Stay tuned for crying, everyone. Next victim, we're gonna sacrifice her little rubber band here with a pair of scissors. Listen to that. Crispy. Crispy. I'm also like interested because like sometimes the Bratz come with no product in their hair, and when that happens the hair is so nice and soft, like straight out of the box. But then when they put the product in the hair, it's gross and terrible and looks bad, and I don't understand why they do that, you know? Hopefully I don't fuck it up. I probably will, that's fine. Leaving these bows in is probably also a terrible idea, but that's what we're going with. Yay. So I should probably take the shoes off on these. I just like to have them nearby because when they dry, if they're drying standing up, which she will be, ain't no way she's staying on that stand without these shoes on. The top of her head is real crispy. Maybe I should just redo all their hair. I keep seeing people redo them and it looks really good, but I'm like not confident enough and I don't have like an outright idea, you know? Like I did with the Fashion Pixies, I like knew what I wanted them to look like. But I'm just gonna try to replicate the hairstyles that they had. I think that's gonna be fine and hilarious. So you're definitely gonna wanna stay tuned. I think leaving these bows in is an actual terrible idea. Anybody see any good TV lately? Remember how I was complaining about how I couldn't find anything to watch? I got some really good suggestions, some of them from you all, and I've been, you know, making my way through. One of you suggested a show called Deadlock. It's an Australian show, and I was particularly impressed with that one. It was really funny. It had that sort of like satirical sense of humor that I really enjoy. The Australians do it really good because my friend recommended me another show. It was called Class of 2007, and that one had like a similar tone. Also excellent if you're looking for good television. What else have I watched? Castle Rock, and the first season of that I really liked, and then the second season I was like meh, but then when I got to the end of the second season I was like yeah. Did they cancel that? Probably, right? I'm happy though that even though the stories all connect, they sort of made them into different stories, so if it cancels then at least you're like satisfied with the ending, you know what I mean? Because Netflix just loves to cancel shows. Anything I love, Netflix has canceled. What else did I like? Look at that. This one looks really bad. This is a ponytail though, it should be easy. I'm really into School Spirits. That one's on Paramount, and there's 2 seasons so far, and then the 3rd season just started, which has been nice. And then of course there's The Traitors, which is an iconic television show. I did apply to be on it, which I don't think I'll get, but you know, with the unemployment and everything as is, like my feeling like I have no future, even though I've dedicated 15 years of my life to my career, just made me say, why not? You know, so maybe they'll call. Probably not. Can we not, Midge? I don't like how you don't listen. One of you also recommended Opus. The film, loved that. That was real good. It was like the exact sort of mood vibe and feeling I'm looking for. Culty, you know? That one's crispy as hell. This one's feeling better. Just leave her in there for another minute. Also, when I had to go to my Broadway job in the blizzard, well, I walked there because I didn't trust the subway and I couldn't get my shit together to like be concerned with the subway not functioning because it rarely ever does. Of course, I was like trudging through the snow, and I feel like I wish that like I was just recording it because of how funny it was. Like the snow was up to my knees because I'm so short. You know, the ground is uneven because it's just got like people's footprints in the snow, and I was wearing like a full plastic outfit because I needed to stay dry so I could do my job, you know? You've seen it, like on Survivor when they're running through water, like duck running through snow because I like needed momentum to get through it. And like on my tiptoes, and I'm not sure why I was doing that, but I felt like it was the only way I could get through the snow. It was the only way, like I didn't know, I couldn't figure out any other way for me, my body, to like do that. And then my ankle for like 3 days afterward was like on fire and I had no stability in it. But then I realized, because I went to PT, that I feel like my hypermobile body does the same thing as my brain. It cheats. It finds the easiest way to do something as fast as possible, right? And so I don't usually use my butt muscles because for some reason my body denies that it exists, or like maybe it's not the most convenient muscle to activate. I did one exercise on the right leg, which felt more or less fine, and it felt one way, and then I switched over to the left leg and I had no stability in the left leg because of the ankle injury. And so I'm like standing there trying to do this exercise, and the only way I could do it was by activating my glute. And my left glute never activates. My right one does sometimes. And so I was just so fascinated that my body like compensated in that way for that injury. And I'm honestly like fascinated by the mechanics of my body and how it doesn't work like other bodies. This realization, like my brain and my body actually function in the exact same way, which isn't normal. Isn't that interesting? Let me know in the comment section down below if you have any weird body stuff, because I'm clearly super fascinated by it. All right, this girl I'm gonna wash out. This girl I'm gonna leave to soak a little longer. Every time I wash my hair, it falls out in clumps. All right, this hairstyle actually looks probably as good as it's gonna get. I don't know if I could do better than that, so she'll just not get her hair redone. Is that a sound that people like? ASMR? Look at this pile now. There's just a pile. This stick has like acrylic paint on it, but it was the only stick I could find that fit her head hole. So I'm gonna stick her in here, no stick. But when I boil wash her, I'm gonna need the stick. And then Chloe, I can't remember if I thought that Chloe's hair needed to be redone. I feel like it did. So we'll just let them soak for a minute, and let's get back onto the subject of TV, because I'm still interested in television shows that you can recommend to me, or movies. And I'm gonna say, for reference, my favorite shows are like BoJack Horseman, and that is a cartoon, but like I'm talking the essence of it. The OA is definitely at the top of my list. The Leftovers definitely at the top of my list. Clearly there's a theme here. Anything that has like a dying and coming back or time travel element to it. Another one that I watched was The Outer Range, and I kind of liked that. That one was okay. I like the fantasy when it's like really grounded in reality. Like the OA I feel like does that like so well. Like they place this girl in such like a regular location to start out, and then like tell you this fantastical story, and because you're buying into the reality, you can buy into the things that she says. That I really like. Anybody has any other recommendations? Like anything culty or psychological? Like, I'd love a good psychological thriller, but I feel like nobody's giving me what I want. And of course, for reference, I have written one that I like, but I don't know is marketable. Oh, that's the other thing I've been working on with my friend Jason. I wanted to make like a visual representation of my screenplay, so like a pitch deck, which I want to call a tech pack because of my fashion background, which are two totally different things. One is very technical, the other one is visual, even though there's like technical elements into it, you know what I mean? I had written all this stuff, you know. I'm the type of person that has to like write everything down or think everything out, like almost aloud. So I wrote all this stuff and I'm like, this is the information I want to put in this thing. And then I was like looking for the visuals to represent that, which is actually so much harder than you would think. And I'm struggling just to find what I'm looking for, because you know, I'm just looking for photos on the internet. Like there's only so much I can do. It's not like I have a cast where I can go out and take like production shots of what I'm looking for. And so I sent it to my friend and I'm like, I need what I'm looking for, and I need like advice. And he was actually super helpful and was like, well, why don't you think about this in this way instead of how you're thinking about it, and I think you're gonna be happier with your result. And he also sent me a ton of stuff, which was really helpful. Just like, that's what I need. I get stuck in my way of thinking, and it's like a loop of thinking, and sometimes I just need somebody to say, what if you thought about it this way? So I can go down that road and be like, oh yes, I see what you're saying. And just like have a different like train of thought that can lead me to different, better results, you know what I mean? I literally can't wait for this hair to be like perfectly straight. Oh, I did buy a body that's supposed to arrive today that I hope works for her, and if it does, we'll do like a full restyle and everything on her. She's the first one I'm gonna give a body if it works out. I don't know why. I thought for sure I was gonna like the other head better than this one, but there's something about her. And she's smiling, which is so atypical of me. Both of these feel fine. I'm gonna leave Chloe in there a little longer, but I'm gonna wash her out. Also like this screenplay that I've been working on, which like comes and goes depending on where I am in my life, you know? I started it a long time ago, maybe 2022, and I had written it sort of like chronologically as a story, and the more feedback I got, the more I realized like this isn't what Hollywood is looking for. They want something that is not a chronological story and has, you know, they don't want simplicity, they want something really convoluted. And so I was like, just exploring my options a couple years later. And my lead character is a cult leader narcissist. And I was like, well, what would happen if I put like 2 narcissists in a room? Like, how would that go? And that ended up being like the catalyst for the new story. And so it still has the whole most of the whole original story in it. It's just told differently. And I think I'm interested in it because I'm like super interested in human behavior though. Like, I don't know that other people are as interested in human behavior as I am. But the story is still fun. It's based on the family cult, but loosely at this point. It was more based on it, but like the more I wrote, the further it like left. Just has like elements of that cult in it and elements of the leader, but I completely fictionalized her background, which I just read a book that was like of the same vein as that. What was it called? The Bear Cat? It's hard to get in this country because it's Australian, because the cult is Australian. But the writer did the exact same thing. They like fictionalized her backstory, and I feel like her initial process was the same as mine, just sort of like the why, like how could this have happened? Like what would cause a person to potentially want, or not even want, just like do this? And I'm just fascinated by that in general, because like a lot of the stories of these people are exactly the same. Kind of doesn't change. Like any psychopathic, malignant, narcissist character has very similar backstory elements to their history. All right, she's good. Oops. I'll show you one conditioning because they're all the same with varying amounts of conditioner. I use this fancy Amica conditioner, but only because they come in FabFitFun and it comes as a set, and I hate conditioner for my own hair because I don't like the way it feels. By this point, if you've been with me for any amount of time, oh God, that's too much. You should know about my sensory issues, which is every single one and also getting worse by the day. There's like chunks in this. There we go. It's probably still too much. I find when I put too much in, then I can never get it out. It smells so good though. What a delightful scent. And with some of these girls, I'm just gonna let them dry naturally and see how it turns out. And if it's not what I want, I'll take a straightener to it. But I'm thinking that these will kind of form back into place. How's the weather where you guys are? I like hear there's another winter storm coming this weekend. It's the last weekend in January. Gonna be the first weekend in February, I guess, because tomorrow's February, isn't it? But yeah, we're actually in New York City, not scheduled to get snow. I think it's kind of lower down, more southern. I also like love listening to southern people talk about snow because they get like 2 inches of snow and it's like the end of the world. I'm walking to work in a foot of snow, guys. I'm also from Boston, and I remember going to school in those snowstorms. One day I was like driving to school, must have been my junior or senior year because I was in a car. It was early in the morning and the weather was bad, and I just skid right through an intersection into the middle of the road. Luckily nobody was coming, but I'm like, well, that could have been bad. But you know, the expectations in Massachusetts are that you know how to handle the snow. So like it doesn't surprise me or affect me in the same ways it affects other people. I feel like when Broadway's like, yeah, we're gonna do a show in a state of emergency. Of course we are, which I think is stupid, but like I'm in my radical acceptance phase. I've been doing this 15 years, and so I know full well that these people are never gonna change. That's the way they are. They don't care about your safety. They will sit in front of their fireplace with their family, cozy with a cup of hot chocolate, enjoying the warmth, while we go to work to make them money in the snow. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. This looks really bad though. I'm gonna have to redo this. But on the bright side, her hair is all nice and soft now, but I am feeling some tea ties left in here. Goes the freaking cops. I woke up yesterday morning to just the most overstimulating 15-minute siren extravaganza I've ever heard, and it did not stop the entire day, all day long. That's how it was. Then I don't hear about anything bad happening, so I'm like, where are you going, bro? What's going on? I bet somebody like got into a crash on the West Side Highway. That sounds like probably what it was. All right, I'm gonna put her to the side and then we'll redo her hair in a minute. I'm gonna condition the rest of these queens, and then I'll get back to you with the styling. Casualty. We'll sew those back in. Sasha and Chloe have made it through. I'm not gonna redo Chloe's hair even though there's some issues in it because I don't think I can do better. So she gets to stay like this. There's like tiny little issues there. It's not worth it to me right now. Maybe it'll be a problem later. This one looks good enough to me also. There's a little bit of issue right there, but I don't know that it bothers me enough for me to like redo this whole hairstyle. So these two are gonna go sit down. She's gonna fall off the stick. I'm not sure if this bucket melts. So we're gonna find out together. I've already had one water disaster today, so it's like a second one is like nothing at this point. Let's see what's gonna happen. Notice how I've missed every single inch and it's burning me. I finished that one over the sink in a cup so I'd stop burning my hands. She's fine. Stick her back in a cup. She got saran hair. I'm always afraid to play with heat and saran hair because I'm afraid I'm gonna melt it. Let's see, let's put your head on backwards, girl. The only part of this that really bothers me is that like weird spot by the ear. So let's soak that down. This would probably look better if I boil washed it because the bottom's like a little bit on the fried side, but I don't know, it just doesn't bother me that much. And of course I have none of the right tools. Let's see. Let's hope she doesn't melt. It's like her ear is making that problem because they stick out so far. Cute. Why isn't it like that on the other side though? That's my question. Maybe it's the way it's rooted. What am I doing? I like want to turn this up so bad, but I'm afraid. The internet technically said I could. My comb is just covered in conditioner. Disgusting. Disgusting! Does that look like queen? Still bad. But why is the other side not like that? I don't understand. Clearly, not a hairstylist. That's why my hair looks like this all the time, you guys. And I rarely get hairstyles where I have to do much to it because it's just not in the skill set, you know? What's that? Maybe a little bit better. I don't know why it even bothers me so much. It just does. Is it that big of a deal? I think that's a little bit better. It still has a dent in it though. Let's put your head on backwards again. I did film a box opening and review for this doll, just I never posted it because I feel like nobody cares. Is that true? Let me know in the comments section down below. I'd also like to mention right now, maybe it's a little bit too late, I'm not giving you advice. It's not why I'm here doing this today. I'm doing this today to entertain you and to force you to listen to the sirens, the non-stop sirens I have to listen to in New York City. That's why we're here today. So don't do as I say or as I do. Like, I can't get up high enough. That's the problem. All right, let's see what you look like. Is it better? Not really, huh? All I can say is we tried, and we'll give her a boil rinse at some other time. Turn her that way so you can see what I'm doing. Again though, not a tutorial. Entertainment purposes only. This is for you to LOL at. You should walk away from this video thinking I didn't know anybody could be that inept at doing hair. That's the mood, vibe, and feeling. I just remember when I was in gymnastics, this is genetic, not being able to do hair. My mom would send me to a babysitter, and that babysitter would do the tightest, most painful French braids in my hair so that they'd stay in until like the gymnastics meet on Saturday or Sunday. This was like a Friday evening. We were not blessed in my family with capacity to do hair. I feel like the most any of us do are straighten. And I don't even like doing that. Like if I can get away with not doing that, that would be ideal. Somehow that looks worse. This is just random pieces hanging out, huh? You know what? They both look terrible. You know, it's fine. You know what? It's fine. I watch some people do doll hair and they get these like beautifully smooth ponytails and stuff, and I'm like, but how though? How do you do that? And it really is like these simple hairstyles that are the hardest for me. Maybe it's because you can hide stuff in more complex hairstyles. Like how bad it looks. I remember one time I did one of these videos and I was doing like a half up, half down on Jade's hair, and it took me like an hour. And that's ridiculous. Is it not? It's like a little bit too high up. We'll see if I hate it when I turn her around. Also, watch me like awkwardly fumble. I feel like I don't have like good motor skills in my hands, maybe? which is like a hypermobility problem. It's like a lot of people have that, which is so funny considering what my job is. And like I sew just fine, but I've never really been able to figure out how to crochet or knit because of that like inability to like keep tension. No, that looks fuck ass terrible. I'm really glad I decided not to do the Chloe or the Sasha, because based on how this is going, ain't no way they would have looked better. Ain't no freaking way. Are those even? Yeah, kinda. Do they look good though? No. Wow, would you look at that mess. I'm gonna go for the ponytail next. We all know how this is gonna go. Come on, queen. I apologize in advance for what I'm about to do to you. If anybody's wondering, I got this little clamp thing off of Amazon. I'll link it down below. I found it on Dolls to Remember though, who's actually like amazing at doll hair. You might want to go check out his videos if you want a how-to. I don't know. I feel like every time I change the camera angle, all you're seeing is how disgusting my countertop is right now. But it's just very small and there's nowhere to put anything. Like, you'd think a ponytail is simple. This might need to be wetter. Maybe that'll help. Bratz hair is so soft after you wash it and condition it. I love that about Bratz hair. I know this is never gonna look as flat as it did when they did it. But it had all those weird little hairs hanging out of it and I hated the way that looked. Also, sorry about my disgusting hands. It's so dry and cold. They just crack and peel. Like, how high up was this ponytail originally? It's like pretty high, right? And they had all the stripes like so perfectly placed. They're not gonna be like that anymore. Sorry, Yasmin. I love her with this red hair though. I think it's so pretty. Oh my god. Oh no, it's so lumpy on that side. How do you make it so it's not lumpy? Somebody explain it to me in a way that I can understand. That's my hair. You know, because it's like rapidly exiting my scalp. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's just hair stuck in this. That can't be there. Oh no, it's all tangled. Oh no. Oh god. What is this? Where is it coming from? Hello? Okay. That's kind of too high. Maybe it's fine. Oh, it's ugly. No, it's lumpy. No. That's like the spot though. Maybe I should be looking at her face while I do this instead of the back of her head. That might help. It was kind of like slightly to the side, like it hung in a really cute sideways manner. Okay, that's a little bit better. It's still lumpy, but it's okay. Nobody's perfect. They somehow managed to do it with 2 elastics around the ponytail. I'm really not sure how to do that. So mine's gonna look like shit. It's not that bad. The one thing I do really want is that like flip that she had in her hair originally. The internet's saying it can take 428 degrees. That seems high. So we're gonna leave it on 360. Is this in Celsius or Fahrenheit? That must be Fahrenheit. Famous last words, it must be Fahrenheit. That's probably why there was so much gel in it. Because I'm not getting that shape. I just like it though, it's so cute. I know what everyone's gonna say, take less hair. Didn't I tell you at the top of this video I'm lazy? That's probably the best I can do. All right, it's Jade's turn. I'm already struggling. Before I even started, you can see there's like long, you probably can't see all the way down, but she has like these long pieces that were clearly the pieces that got pulled back. So by the time they were pulled back, all the hair was equalish length. The problem is I'm having a really hard time sectioning that out. Should have just left them in, you know? This one's even weirder than the other side. 10 on 10 wouldn't recommend. Don't take the hair down when you wash it. Leave it, and then you can take them out right before you're gonna do the hair. Even though you might not get as nice of a wash, you know? I can't figure out what the hell, because that feels like so much more than that, because it is. She just might get a haircut, and that'll be fine. Hairstyling simply is not my journey. But I like envy and stan everybody whose journey it is. This is impossible. Oh, and they're still not even. And it's still like too thick. What the hell? Damn, I've only been doing this for 12 minutes. It feels like an eternity. Is that even in the middle? What do you think? No? All right, this is destined to look terrible. I really can't figure out how to make it look good. So whatever this comes out like is how this is gonna be, and then we'll grade it. Every little rough patch on my hands is just like ripping the hair out of where I put it as I move. Maybe you'll also get a better hairstyle come spring or summer, queen. Unfortunately, this is what you're getting. And it's gonna be ugly. And just because you're a feral, awful, depressive street jade doesn't mean you should look bad. Oh Christ, oh God. How do you get that to not happen? Can anybody explain it to me? You know what? It's fine. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look bad. I give it a 3 out of 5 stars. C minus. Maybe like not a 3. Maybe like a 2.8. There we go. It's the best I can do. Sorry, queen. There's the girls. They're all in various states of drying. Once they're dry fully tomorrow, finish off their looks, see how we feel about them. I feel like some of them look good. Some of them don't. Well, here's a lot of them, everyone. And for the most part, I feel like they're better. Let's look at them individually and see what's good and what's bad. Here we've got Jade. I like the way these bows look better than they did originally. I feel like they're less cumbersome and they look good. The hairstyle is bumpy because my hands kept ripping it out. This is the best I could do. The back of it looks like this. She's fine. Ariana Grande Po here looks really cute. I feel like maybe the curl is a little exaggerated, but I kind of like it, so we're going with it. She's fine. Hers isn't as bumpy as some of the other ones either, which is nice. Yay. Sasha was one of the ones that looked the best, just generally speaking, and she still looks the best. I didn't redo this hair. And I think that was for the best because it looks good, right? Her curl pattern turned out really nice too. So that's a win. Here's Chloe, another one I didn't redo, and I feel like she looks better than the ones I redid. There's like a few stray hairs at the top, but it's like really not that bad, honestly. Yay. She turned out by far the worst. She's got like tons of like random like hairs that like didn't form right, and I probably could have done a better job drying her, but it is what it is. She's fine, she's good enough. I like the way these dried in this little like curl. I think that's cute. Cleo looks exactly the same. We don't even have to bother with her. I'm just gonna stick her back where she belongs. Actually, I guess the hair does look a little bit nicer, especially at the bottom because I like put a straightener to it. And last but not least, this Barbie hair. She looks beautiful. Look at how beautiful the straight hair is. Unfortunately, she is a flop because I tried to buy her a new body. The body did not match. I feel like most of Barbie's dark-skinned dolls are very warm-toned, and this girl is not. She's very cool-toned, and it's really hard to find just anything that even goes. I'm returning that body that I bought. I bought another one. We'll see if that one's better. Somebody said they used it and it was fine, so maybe it'll work. So now it's the moment I've been waiting for, and it's to put these dolls back into the display. So let's see what we can do here. Everything that was there fell down. This whole display mostly fell down. This end of it. I still don't like this end of it. Like the front is like a straight line and the back is sort of a straight line, and I think that's fucking ugly. But I can't do any better than that right now. And I mean, I keep saying I want to dismantle this, but I really just need another shelf before I do. That's the thing. But here's the Bratz girlies. I got these ladies up here closer together, which is how I wanted them, so I'm happy about that. Here's these ladies. It's like not good. Maybe it's better from that angle. The issue is I can't get Yasmin and Jade sort of at the same level. And I love having like Sasha out front being like the lead of that little group over there. And I love the way Chloe looks. 10 on 10. But like that area looks a little odd. I don't know what to do about it. That's fine, no worries if not. That's how we turned out. The rest of the Bratz area kind of looks like this. Oh look, and I did add the charms to these bags, and I love them as bag charms. Whoever's idea that was, 10 on 10. She has one too, see, cute. Oh, and hers, she has one too. Everybody has one. I also redid my pink section the other day, and I like it better now. It was looking too spread out for me. I redid the purple section because I needed to reaccommodate some dolls, and I need like more purple dolls, but I don't have a lot of purple clothes. That's the issue, but that's cute enough. It looks fine. I feel like yellow's had some minor changes. Like, I had to get her in, obviously. She's yellow as yellow can be. But that one still looks okay, but green and blue has not changed because it's perfect and I'm afraid to touch it. Again, thank you for coming to my TED Talk. And here's the Rainbowhigh girls. I love the way they look. These are like the white/rainbow girls, you know, the ones that are wearing white or have like rainbow elements. And I just wanted them to look like they're just like a bunch of friends having a great time. And I feel like I achieved that pretty well. I feel like smashing Whitney in there like that actually like hides from the fact that her hair doesn't look that good. So that's nice, but I like the way this display came out. Like, I don't generally love this display because it looks like this, but I feel like that was like a value add, you know? And hopefully someday I can make the whole display look more like that because I think that's super cute. So yeah, that's nice. Let me fix the rest of the display that fell down and then we'll finish out this video. All right, well, we're finishing on the Bratz and wow, what a journey it was. I never expected it to get so complicated. I thought I'd just wash some doll hair, have a nice chat, but alas, that's not what it turned out to be. And you know what? That's how life goes. And my favorite part was how I had to rebuild my entire display because everything kept falling down. Yes. What a delight. But I want to know your favorite part of the video today. What did you enjoy most? I mean, it wasn't a makeover, so we can't really call it that, but which doll is your favorite, I guess, that we saw here today? Do you have any like better ideas for the display and like the terrible tiny amount of space that I have? Should I just go into debt $80 and buy another shelf so I can make myself happy? Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, put one of those crying, laughing emojis down below just for the sheer absurdity of what went on here today. Make sure to like, share, and hype the video. That helps me out a lot. And subscribe for more hilarious and amazing content just like this. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful time. I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.